4th anniversary coming up Juneteenth 2025. We'll be marking the achievement with 4 key community events, including a special symposium, luncheon, and brain trust hosted by me entitled The State of Black Women in Los Angeles. Keep it locked here for details on how to join us for this groundbreaking symposium examining the unique challenges, triumphs, and contributions of Black women in Los Angeles in the areas of education, healthcare, community leadership, cultural and political contributions. This public convocation will provide a critical forum to address the specific social, economic, and political realities facing Black women in LA today. We'll go live with a radio broadcast and YouTube live stream, a public discussion, and a private dialogue with some of LA's most impactful women. It's an affirmation of Black women standing at the intersection of race and gender in times of adversity while demonstrating remarkable resilience and leadership. We will listen and we will speak out and be heard, all in service of finding opportunities and solutions. Please plan to join us in celebrating our 4th anniversary by amplifying the voices of Black women. For more on our symposium and 4 events celebrating 4 years on the air, simply stay tuned or keep an eye on KBLA1580.com and help make this Juneteenth more jubilant with all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey Zoe, I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes 2 to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
Wait a minute. We are looking at each other now. What are we looking at? What are you seeing? What am I seeing? Am I seeing you with an image which I have about you? Or you seeing me with an image you have about me? The image is the past.
Well, there are associations and memories which surround you.
Yeah, which is all the past.
Yes.
So you are looking at me with the memories, associations, experiences, the knowledge about me, which is the image you have. So you're really not looking at me. Your image is looking at me. Or rather, through the image you're looking. I think this is fairly simple, isn't it? Do we look at anybody with fresh eyes?
Well, I know you say that one ought to try and look at one's child once
I mean, one's
girlfriend
wife, one's husband.
as for the first time, but it's very difficult. We've been trying this in the office, actually.
Why is it difficult? Because we like to live in the past. I have hurt you. I have said something brutal to you, and you remember it. And next time you meet me, that remembrance comes forward. I might have changed, but you have that memory. So you are looking at me with the image which you have, which has come about through the insult or through the hurt, or through pleasure. And so you can never look at another afresh.
You can never look at another afresh. Oh, Lord, tonight's topic. You already know what it is. The voice of reason. Live from Little Africa Town in the heart of Lamert Park. You know what it is. You know what I do. I've got to continue to step on your necks. Listen, it's tough love. It's coming from an authentic and genuine space. I love my folk. But we have to get out of this state of cognitive dissonance where we desire something we refuse to reconcile internally. You want love, 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 appreciation, acknowledgement, validation, acceptance. You want it all, but you refuse to give it all to yourself. You want to feel good, but you don't want to accept the feelings that feel bad that are actually good for you. Oh, yes, they exist. There are feelings out there that don't feel too good. But once you embrace them non-judgmentally, with love, with empathy, and they unravel, right, in the crucible of your heart, and reveal a gift to you, the gift of liberation, the gift of self-knowledge, the gift of self-understanding, then you'll realize the purpose of why they were prickly in the beginning. Krishnamurti said, no. We're dating an image. Do you see the cognitive dissonance? You hurt me back then. And when I see you again, I don't see if you've changed, if you've evolved, if you've developed. I see the hurt from back then. Do you see? Do you see the cognitive dissonance of it all? Let me give you more context. Here it is. Can you imagine going to a new relationship expecting something different? Right? You were hurt. You carry that hurt. If you don't heal and reconcile your co-creation of the uncomfortable pain you felt, the discomfort of that pain you felt, oh yes, because you are a co-creator of your reality. Imagine going into a new relationship, trying to get a new result with the same old wounds. Sheesh. Tonight's topic, the world is backwards. Feelings over facts. They're in love with how you made them feel, not with who you are. Yeesh. The ancestral misfire. Love in the age of neurocolonialism. Modern day intimacy has evolved into a neurospiritual battleground where millennials and Gen Zs, navigating advancements in gene editing and neural lace technologies, replay ancestral traumas through algorithmically dictated relationships. Limerence, once an evolutionary remnant from our ancestors, now manifest as a dopamine-driven obsession with endless swiping, leaving hearts starved of genuine connection. CPTSD survivors, their oxytocin genes altered by epigenetic trauma, compulsively pursue unavailable partners, mistaking self-sabotage for cosmic justice. AI therapists erode accountability by offering unchecked validation, while gene editing risks spiritual emptiness by editing out primal emotions like jealousy. Jealousy is something to be overcome. If you edit it out, you miss the lesson that is on the opposite side of jealousy. Come on. You can't own them, but you got to learn that. Okay, I don't want to give away the answers. We craft curated Finsta personas, trading authenticity for digital perfection, yet ache for raw human bonds. TikTok twin flames communities, romanticize toxicity as quantum destiny, reframing abuse as fate. Humanity teeters on the precipice. Heal through psychedelic guided introspection or spiral into a hive mind dystopia, a merged consciousness echoing with loneliness. It's not about just feeling good. We're going to get into it, emotional IQ. Do you know your number? Have you taken an emotional IQ test? Have you done the work to find out if you're still an 8 to 12-year-old wounded child within a fully grown body? Love, humanity's most exquisite evolutionary glitch, is now commodified by tech overlords. Survival demands metamorphosis into cyber mystics, hybrids of nanotechnology and untamed spirit. What are you talking about, Zoe? I'm here to tell you, if you don't develop your spiritual peace, the spiritual peace that comes from challenge, that comes from struggle. Challenge and struggle produce resilience. Resilience produce steadfastness, discipline. Do you see? Self-awareness. All of this is coming out of resilience. If you don't produce the spiritual component that relationship has to offer, you become roboticized by society. You become an automaton who only want a particular reaction from a particular situation. Who that person is, where they are in their personal development means very little. There's very little meaning in relationships today. If you want meaning, you have to cultivate it within. The voice of reason is not playing with you tonight. Get on your phone lines. I want to talk to everybody. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Are you ready to cook with me? I want to hear from Los Angeles. I want to hear from Pasadena, Altadena. I'm from Pasadena and Altadena. Altadena, stand up. Pasadena, stand up. I want to hear from Hawthorne. I want to hear from Inglewood. I want to hear from Compton in the house. I want to hear from Watts up. I want to hear from Colorado, New Mexico, New York, South Carolina, North Carolina, Atlanta. I want to hear from D.C., New York. I want to hear from Vallejo. Get up in here. Yee.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. Before the fire, Altadena was a real-life Wakanda. A thriving black oasis just 15 miles from downtown Los Angeles. 80% black residents were homeowners, building intergenerational wealth against the odds. It was a hub of black-owned businesses, churches, and cultural institutions. It stood as a symbol of black resilience and economic independence. Then, in a matter of hours, it was gone. The fire tore through homes, swallowed businesses, and left behind a painful void. But was it just an unstoppable act of nature, or was negligence involved? Did officials ignore early warning signs? Were the response efforts delayed or insufficient? What role, if any, did corporate or government failures play? Survivors are demanding answers. Don't miss our KBLA Talk 1580 Town Hall. The Eden Altadena Fire, 100 days and counting. On Wednesday, April 16th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Robinson Park Recreation Center, 1081 North Fair Oaks in Pasadena. Join Dominic DePrima, Nee Cordelai Corte, James Farr, Tavis Smiley, and a panel of survivors, community leaders, and experts as we commemorate Day 100 since the wildfires flared up. And we discuss where we go from here. It's KBLA's Eden Altadena Fire, 100 Days and Counting Town Hall, Wednesday, April 16th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Robinson Park Recreation Center in Pasadena. Light refreshments to follow. Admission is free, but sign-up is required at our KBLA1580.com website. The first 100 attendees will receive a complimentary air purifier. This is a community call to action brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580 and Quinn Emanuel Trial Lawyers. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. If you need help getting your resume in order, finding job training, or landing a job, we've got 3 great options for you. First, the City of Los Angeles has WorkSource centers across the area offering free job support. The California Workforce Development Board can help you with everything from GED prep to vocational training at no cost to you. On the federal level, the Department of Labor's American Job Centers offer a full range of services for job seekers and businesses alike. Visit careeronestop.org, or for more info, just call California's Help Center or visit cwdb.ca.gov or call 916-657-1440. For the City of Los Angeles programs, go to ewdd.lacity.gov or call 213-744-7300. All these services are free to help you get your next job. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
You know you want some more. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
I mess with her heavy, her vibe was hella cool. I would slide from the stoop with flowers and food, talking for hours, looking for common truth. We never knew a rush like this could improve. She liked to groove. I sit back and watch her body move. Her presence was a present and an honor too. The modest goddess that didn't flaunt it. Beneath her garments was the hottest frame, stacked and honest. Her feed only held positive comments. Playing this song made all my homies vomit. It was crazy. This lady nearly killed a pea. Like she never heard a boss's soliloquy. She wrote a poem talking about staying strong, waiting on her king.
What took you so long?
And it touched me. I told her I wasn't ready, but now I am, and everything's so litty. It's litty, a player in an old Chevy. Let it drag, sparks dance to this medley. It's a vibe, Aretha, rock steady, and the music we make, it sounds so pretty. Litty, a player.
Some people don't love you. They just love how you make them feel about themselves.
Ooh.
And when that feeling stops, so do they. That's not love. That's performance anxiety with a spiritual backdrop. You think you're dating a confident guru. Turns out you're just a trauma support animal for someone playing God because they're terrified of being seen as human. Narcissists don't want connection. They want control disguised as closeness. It's not ego, it's fear in a designer mask. Psychologist Heinz Kohut talked about this in The Analysis of the Self, 1971. How narcissists construct a false self to avoid collapsing under the weight of shame. So when you confront them, you're not hurting their feelings. You're threatening their existence. That's why truth feels like violence to someone addicted to illusion.
Ooh.
When someone builds their identity on a fantasy, reality becomes an attack. So they fight it, deny it, or punish you for noticing it. You can't negotiate with someone who needs you confused to feel in control. The clearer you get, the more chaotic they become. But clarity is the breakaway. Not revenge, not rage. Just finally seeing the pattern for what it is and choosing to step off the ride. You don't need their permission to reclaim your peace. You don't need closure from someone who was never fully present, and you sure as hell don't need to keep setting yourself on fire just to prove you're warm.
Listen here, psychology dog man, Y'all don't know about psychology, dog, man? Listen, there's a cartoon. It's a dog. And, of course, it's voiced by a human. But the dog reminds me of the dog from Family Guy, right? Whatever that dog's name was. What was his name? Kevin or something like that. But it's literally an Instagram page, and I think it's also a TikTok page. Brian, that was the name of the dog on Family Guy. It's literally an animated series of this dog breaking down these psychological concepts. And it's amazing, and it fit perfectly. Most people don't give a damn about who you really are. They only care about how you make them feel. See, the person that only cares about how you make them feel, that's an unhealed person. I'm sorry to put it that way. I'm going to put it that way. They only care about one thing. That's a type of supply. You make me feel good, we're good. You make me feel bad, I can't guarantee tomorrow. That's just what it is. People are selfish and greedy because they're unhealed. When you're dealing with trauma, you're dealing with an insatiable appetite, one that can't be quenched with nurturing, with loving, with caring. Because first off, if you're wounded by somebody who didn't give you the love, then love becomes an attack. Then nurturing and kindness becomes an attack. Do you see? Heavy stuff. Limerence as an ancestral software glitch, which has morphed into the now swipe culture sabotage. We're going to swipe left, swipe left. Oh, not that one. Question: if limerence activates the same dopamine pathways as ancestral foraging, why do millennials/Gen Zs mistake Tinder swipes for soulmate signals, despite 70% of them reporting disillusionment with the app? Huh? Here's the empirical hook. Gen Z spends 3 times longer daily on, Gen Z, I said Gen Z, spends 3 times longer daily on dating apps than millennials, yet report 2 times higher loneliness, according to Pew in 2024. Here's the psychological insight, the philosophical insight. We've digitized hunger, but forgotten how to eat. Byung Chul Han. We've digitized hunger, but forgotten how to eat. Generational dissonance. Craving intimacy, but conditioned to treat partners like disposable dopamine hits. Our millennials are like that too. Oh yeah. Especially the younger millennials. Yes. This is what's happening. You're just a dopamine hit. Right? That's it. And if you won't give it to me, somebody else will. I'm sorry. Here's the emotional IQ insight. Recognize swiping as emotional fast food. Convenient, but malnourishing. You can't be nourished digitally. I think swipe hunger. I know you don't want to hear it put this way, but the emotional IQ of the populace is far too low. Right? It's low for ourselves. Come on now, CPTSD and the oxytocin paradox. Now with climate anxiety overlay, question: when 58% of Gen Zs cite climate collapse as a reason to avoid parenthood, does echo grief epigenetically rewire our oxytocin genes to sabotage long-term bonds? Nobody's asking these types of questions because nobody is looking at it from this perspective. See, it's easy to hook up with somebody, and it's very difficult to disconnect from all of the connections or broken connections that you have and they have. I had a full conversation today. Didn't know I was going to do this topic. Had a full conversation with a good brother of mine, and I was explaining his emotional IQ deficit and where it came from. Childhood. Now you can't have a conversation about expressing yourself because it becomes competitive, because you're looking for what you didn't get in childhood. And then the frustration builds. Do you see? Where there is frustration, anger is soon to follow. Anger is a secondary emotion. Something is underneath. You might be angry about something being said, but the real purpose of that anger is underneath. I don't know. Emotion. You got men. We don't need emotion. You just got to show up and do our gender role. No, I'm sorry. You got to do some internal work, which isn't specified in the gender definition. You understand? Millennials with climate anxiety show 40% lower oxytocin during intimacy. This is out of Yale, 2023. Here's the philosophical insight. How do you plant trees when the world is burning? Thich Nhat Hanh. That's how the millennials and the Gen Zs are looking at the world. How do you fall in love, make love, build a family, give love when everything around you is burning down? Love has no place here for them. Just a quick dopamine hit. Huh? Generational dissonance. Yearning for connection while fearing planetary and relational collapse. Listen, when I come forward, if you think for 1 second I'm about to take this foot off your neck, you're absolutely wrong. The number to dial is 1-800-920-1580. Talk to me about your ability to navigate your emotions. Can you regulate your negative feelings in the moment of fire when you need to? I want to know. When we come forward, the phone lines will be open, 1-800-920-1580.
She touched you. Nigga, where's the pressure? We never let one in on any measure. Spending time and treasure. Somebody put a lever. Star me out. I guess you evolved now.
I guess so, like collecting 200 and go. It's Liddy, and I got a real one with me. Who the dog, Playboys tank on empty.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. President Trump has signed an order to boost shower water pressure, reversing Obama-Biden era limits. He says it'll make America's showers great again. The move allows more water per nozzle, ending what the White House calls the Obama-Biden, quote, war on water pressure, end quote. Black NFL wide receiver Tyreek Hill's wife, Lakita, has filed for divorce a day after police responded to an assault call at his condo. Hill was not charged and no one was harmed. He reportedly got upset after she accused him of not being involved enough with their daughter. North Carolina's GOP-led Senate has passed a bill to ban DEI programs at public colleges. The bill also requires schools to block policy supporting DEI goals. And Michelle Obama has shut down divorce rumors on Sophia Bush's podcast, saying she's focused on making her own choices and living with intention. You can listen to the whole podcast on iHeartRadio. Get BIN News on demand 24/7 on the iHeartRadio app.
If you need up to $3,000, go to WeFixMoney.com. WeFixMoney.com is the name you can trust. It's free to use, available 24/7, and you are never required to accept any loan offer. Some lenders offer same-day funding. If you need up to $3,000, type WeFixMoney.com directly into your browser. WeFixMoney.com has been helping customers for 15 years and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. So, if you need cash for credit card bills, car repairs, child care, or anything else, go to WeFixMoney.com. Make sure you type WeFixMoney.com directly in your browser. Go to the company you trust, WeFixMoney.com. Just fill in the information and get an answer in minutes at WeFixMoney.com. For up to $3,000, go to WeFixMoney.com. That's WeFixMoney.com.
Hi, I'm Dominique DePrima, and it's almost time to celebrate KBLA's 4th anniversary, coming up Juneteenth 2025. We'll be marking the achievement with 4 key community events, including a special symposium, luncheon, and brain trust hosted by me entitled The State of Black Women in Los Angeles. Keep it locked here for details on how to join us for this groundbreaking symposium examining the unique challenges, triumphs, and contributions of Black women in Los Angeles in the areas of education, healthcare, community leadership, cultural and political contributions. This public convocation will provide a critical forum to address the specific social, economic, and political realities facing Black women in LA today. We'll go live with a radio broadcast and YouTube live stream, a public discussion, and a private dialogue with some of LA's most impactful women. It's an affirmation of Black women standing at the intersection of race and gender in times of adversity while demonstrating remarkable resilience and leadership. We will listen and we will speak out and be heard, all in service of finding opportunities and solutions. Please plan to join us in celebrating our 4th anniversary by amplifying the voices of Black women. For more on our symposium and 4 events celebrating 4 years on the air, simply stay tuned or keep an eye on KBLA1580.com and help make this Juneteenth more jubilant with all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
Ladies and gentlemen, I cordially invite you out to the Comedy Connection series, where comedy meets connection. You're gonna laugh, but you're also gonna learn. The long-awaited collaboration, where comedy collides with connection. It's your brother Zoe Williams, the voice of reason, KBLA's own. I'm teaming up with my friend, the alpha male of comedy, Ray Grady. We're gonna host this comedic relationship roundtable series live at Inglewood's iconic Miracle Theater. May 31st, 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Don't wait around. Get your tickets now. Join top comedians Ron G. and Kevin Tate, along with clinicians Dr. P. Pacoya McCall Robinson, along with my friend Christopher Johnson, PhD. Trust me, this is something you don't want to miss. It's unique, it's funny, and it's insightful. Think therapy meets punchlines. Tickets are selling faster than a bad first date. You better grab yours now.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 is committed to self-care and community well-being. Walk Good LA was formed in June 2020, inspired by the Black Lives Matter movement and the beginning stages of the COVID-19 pandemic. What began as a few minutes of breath work and yoga meditation before protests against police brutality turned into a safe space for the community to heal in hard times. The immensely positive response from the community transformed the momentum into a movement. Today, Walk Good LA is a Black and brown-led community wellness organization based in Los Angeles. They provide spaces for healing through community yoga classes, guided meditations, hikes, run clubs, and other activations throughout Los Angeles that attract hundreds of members weekly. With the help of Propel and Michael B. Jordan, they now have a yoga and wellness studio in Los Angeles called the Walk Good Yard. To join their mailing list and connect with healing spaces, please visit walkgoodla.org. That's walkgoodla.org. Or find them on Instagram at WalkGoodLA. This is a community call to action, a community call to healing from KBLA Talk 1580.
This is KBLA Talk 1580. Talk radio. That's music to your ears. We're unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
Product of these lost halves, underdeveloped emotions, carrying trauma-filled bags. We made it work. On the struggle bus, bangers made sure you stayed alert. Cats caught slipping often laid in dirt. For street cred, we exchanged our worth. Catching cases, navigating a racist system. A split decision can get 20 summers wasted in prison. I don't know who needs to hear this or if anyone's listening. Survival's guilt, I had to learn to cry. I only knew anger, limited expressions of the mind. I even had to learn to be happy. It's crazy cause I looked fine, but was all tangled up inside. Not dealing is not healing. I had to remove the ceiling, let the sun in, and begin rebuilding. Tackling false narratives, images of doubt, and figure out a way to mean it when I say I am enough.
I know that I enough.
I am enough.
I know that I enough.
You are enough.
You know that you're enough.
We are enough.
Pain is pretty real. Everybody acts as if that's true. Everyone acts like pain is real. And so then you might say, well, if pain is real, what allows you to cope with pain or transcend pain must be more real. Because if something's real and you encounter something that is more significant than that, you have to attribute reality to that. So we all have to deal with the catastrophe of life, with the pain and limitation of life. And so then you might say, well, how do you do that? Is it even possible to do that? And one answer might be hide from it, bury your head in the sand. And I'm not being smart about this. It's like the less you think about your mortal vulnerability, the better off you'll be. It's an insoluble problem. Your best bet is to run away from that realization, to keep yourself blind, and maybe to busy yourself with as much hedonic pleasure as you can possibly manage.
Drown your sorrow.
If you want to stabilize people psychologically, and if you want to imbue them with courage, then what you do is you help them expose themselves voluntarily to the things they're afraid of that they're avoiding. It's a very powerful technique. That's exposure therapy. What exposure therapy seems to do is to make people braver.
Exposure therapy. Expose yourself to those inner demons, those wounds that can't stop telling you what to do. Expose yourself to them. Stand up to them. You've been bullied long enough. You have to stop capitulating to their endless demands. The supply comes from your unhealed, unrequited wounds. That's where the demand comes from. You got to show up right. You got to treat me right. Your partner is not your parent. It's not their job to finish Mama Nim's work. Look at what we're doing to this society as we move forward because we refuse to heal. We have children that are unhealed. They have children that are unhealed. And pretty soon, the children begin to behave like robots. No use for emotion. No use for an emotional IQ. No use for an amygdala, for that matter. Do you see? We become the mouse in B.F. Skinner's box. It's unfortunate. Prefrontal lobotomy by Instagram. Now with Gen Z's Finsta double life. Question: does maintaining Finstas, fake Instagrams, fracture selfhood? Milking millennials and Gen Zs 3 times more likely to distrust partners' authenticity. Who are you? You got a whole nother fake life on the internet. Here's your empirical hook. 65% of Gen Z admits curating multiple personas online. According to Stanford, that's 2024. Here's your philosophical insight. The digital self is the ultimate shapeshifter and liar. Jaron Lanier. Oh, yeah, it's happening. Relationships are totally different. You know why? Because we forgot or never knew the purpose of what a relationship was. You hear people say, you know what? When you have a kid, there's no manual for raising a kid. There's no manual. Well, that's too far down the line. There's no manual for relationships, even though everybody writes a book about it. Do you know why the books are insufficient and left wanting? Because psychology does not deal with spirituality, even though psychology was born out of philosophy and philosophy was born out of spirituality. The ancient mystery schools. Philosophy, philosophy, the study of wisdom. Psychology, psyche, soul, study of the soul. No. Once it got Western, it got linear. Spirituality is not linear. Spirituality is okay with God blocking something from happening. Do you understand? Spirituality is all right with that. Hey, oh, you didn't get what you wanted? Oh, that's because God stepped in. Oh, your ancestors stepped in. Oh, that's why you're not getting that. That's not for you. That person's on a different path and they have to go crash into their reality. Whatever misguided ideas they have about their beliefs, they're on their path. They got to crash into that in order for that to evolve for them. You're going to get in the way. Let me tell you something about getting in the way of somebody else's karma. You heard of Cain and Abel? That is the greatest metaphor of don't get in somebody's way. Their karma. Cain kills his brother. Abel. Cain, from the Hebrew word, meaning javelin or spear. Abel, Habil, meaning breath. He only took a couple of them. Breath, to breathe. Habil, Abel, Cain and Abel, the javelin and the breath. Huh? Cain kills Abel. Right? What does God do with Cain? God says, okay, here you go. Bow. I'm going to put a mark on your forehead. That'll let anybody know, hey, this is not somebody you kill or mess with. Because if you do, whatever happens to him will happen to you times 7. That was God saying, don't block this man's karma. He killed his brother. Let him live. He got to live with that. Sometimes we try to save people from what they're supposed to live with. No. Let them live. Stop trying to save people from what they're supposed to live with. And because we've lost these spiritual lessons of what relationship is about, right? We're becoming less and less empathetic towards ourselves and others. And the more we become devoid or deficient of empathy, the more transactional we become. We become sensation-addicted automatons. You're here for a good time and not a long time. Okay? That's what this is about. You're here for a good time and not a long time. Oh, my goodness. Ladies and gentlemen, when we come forward, we go into the phone lines. Let's get it.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Hi, I'm Joe Montaigne. Let's talk about veteran homelessness, because it's not just a housing issue, it's a human issue. Right now, we need LA property owners to open their doors and give veterans a safe place to call home. With guaranteed rent and dedicated support, you can be part of the solution. Learn how you can help. Email houseurourvets@lacity.org.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. LA County's new Justice Care and Opportunities Department, or JCOD, is here to support justice-involved individuals and their families. The JCOD Support Center is now taking calls at 1-833-LACJCOD. That's 1-833-522-5263. Available 7 days a week from 6 a.m. to 11 p.m., the Support Center is your one-stop shop for re-entry issues and court support. They offer court reminders, lawyers, connections to local services, transportation assistance for housing, court appearances, and childcare. The JCOD hotline provides personalized help to connect you with services that you need. And don't forget to check out justiceconnect.org for more information. Remember, it's free and available every day at 1-833-522-5263. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Time is up. The IRS is in full collection mode for 2024, issuing liens, levies, and garnishments to anyone who has a past tax debt or unfiled tax returns. Don't wait till it's too late. Your paycheck and bank accounts are at risk of being seized. Call now and stop the collection process today. If you're living check to check, no matter how much you're making, you still may qualify for the Fresh Start programs offered by the IRS to reduce or even eliminate your tax debt. It's just a 5-minute call to get your options, and it's free. If you owe back taxes, have years of unfiled tax returns, under audit, have a wager bank levy, or finally just want to sleep better, business or personal, call the experts at Republic Tax Relief while there's still time. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and tough. This veteran-owned company has the fight you need to take on the IRS. Don't go at it alone. The call is free. Call their hotline number now, 800-246-1923. That's 800-246-1923. Find out if you qualify today. Call 800-246-1923 or go to republictaxrelief.com.
Lena Bloom for the Bail Project.
Imagine you're stuck in a jail cell and you can't afford bail and someone offers you a way out. Just plead guilty and you can go home and kiss your kids goodnight. What do? What thousands have. You plead guilty whether you are or not. Cash bail makes poverty a crime. That's why the Bail Project helps those who can't afford it while fighting to end cash bail. Because freedom should be free.
Brought to you by the Ad Council.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
There is this beautiful song that beats for the possibilities. It beats for the dreams that I've buried deep in my soul, that I've forgotten and hidden from myself. It beats when I've forgotten how to breathe, when to breathe, and why to breathe. In my heart there is this beautiful song that beats a melodic rhythm. It beats because it knows who I truly am. When I've forgotten my way, forgotten my worth, forgotten who and whose I am. In my heart, this song, it sings. It sings when I don't know the words. It sings when I've lost my way. It sings when I've temporarily forgotten. Oh, in my heart, there is this beautiful song. It's a song of truth, the song of honesty, the song of hope, the song of surrender, the song of I am.
Now, if you're, what about your conception of conscious totality? Would you agree, for example, with the statement that this is something that emerges out of man's contact with reality?
But that he has an ego at all? That is your question?
Yes.
Oh, well, you see, that's again such a case. I haven't been there when it was invented. Although, you see, you can observe it to a certain extent with a child. Because child definitely begins in a state where there is no ego. And then about the 4th year or before, but about that time, the child develops a sense of ego, I, myself. And that is, in the first place, a certain identity with the body. Yeah. For instance, when you ask primitives, then they emphasize always the body. Or when, for instance, you ask now, who has brought this thing here? We'll say, I have brought it. No accent on the I, simply brought it. And they say, but have you brought it? And it is, in here, with me. Yes, I myself, this thing here. So the identity, with the body is one of the first things which make an ego. It is the spatial separateness that induces apparently the concept of an ego. And then, of course, a lot of other things. Later on, it is mental differences, personal differences of all sorts, etc. You see, the ego is continuously building up. It is not a finished product, never. Yes, it builds up. You see, no year passes where you do not discover a new little aspect in which you are more ego than you thought.
Of course, one of the central parts of the so-called psychosexual development in the more or less orthodox psychoanalytic theory is the so-called...
We brought in the OG, Carl Jung himself. The ego is not a finished product. It's continuously building itself up. The ego is like America's defense budget. It's constantly growing and expanding. Do you see what's happening to you by not accepting the spiritual purpose of relationship? What is the spiritual purpose of relationship, Zoe? Self-nudity. To be you. To accept you as you are. To be you. Relationship is the university of you. The real you. The you repress. The you suppress. That's what it's for. Your partner mirrors your wounds. Krishnamurti was talking about relationship as a mirror in the 1900s, basically. 1920, you know. Now our clinicians and our psychologists are talking about mirror neurons. Our clinicians are talking about trauma bonding. Our clinicians are talking about how our central nervous systems mirror each other. Do you see? If 80% of Gen Zs prefer AI therapists for vulnerability, are they outsourcing emotional labor and eroding relational resilience? Listen, emotional labor is a big thing for people now because they're soft, they're weak. No disrespect, I love you. But overdependence on technology and stimulation takes away the resources that are needed for introspection. And if you're not dealing with the unhealed wounds that you carried from childhood, let me break something down for you here. Right? Outsourcing emotional labor. That's normal. For intimate relationships, emotional labor is normal, right? It's normal. Now we're going to say, nope, let's make the soft culture that we live in that says, no, you get to feel indefinitely that it's too much labor. No, at some point, sure, take a break, but get back to work internally. That's the work that matters. Do you see? I'm going to outsource my emotional labor because I feel it's too much. No, it's just right. If the universe is fine-tuned, how is your emotional labor too much? I mean, fine-tuned in the most ridiculous ways. Einstein's universal constants. What is it? A handful of them, 12, 15, 16 of them, I don't know, maybe 12 of them, universal constants. And they're so precise, if any one of them was off by a gnat fart, if any one of those constants were off, we couldn't be here. We couldn't live here. But your emotional labor is too much. No, you haven't strengthened the muscle to deal with it. This is what's happening, though, because we don't have a doctrine, a philosophy, a curriculum that teaches the spiritual nature of relationship, which is self-discovery, self-awareness, self-acknowledge, self-approval, self-acceptance, right? We don't have a spiritual doctrine that does that. So we go out into the world with wounds that came from our first love relationship, which is our parents, and we're expecting our partners to complete the job. Replica users show 50% less conflict resolution skills versus human therapy clients. MIT 2024. Listen, I was talking to the brother today. Fear of vulnerability. 80% of Gen Z prefers AI therapists for vulnerability. You can't be vulnerable with another human? Let me explain. There's high-stakes relationships and low-stakes relationships. The high-stake relationship, especially if you're wounded, is your intimate partner. Because if you came from a place where love was inconsistent, where your emotional needs were not met through the lack of emotional attunement by your parent, your primary caregiver, vulnerability is the enemy. Do you see? So it used to be, okay, I can't talk to my partner because of that. Now it's turned into I can't talk to anybody because of that. It's gotten worse. So a low-stake relationship would be like, oh, let me talk to my therapist. They have no investment other than seeing me get better. We're not intimate. We don't have any other connections other than professional. I go to them. They give me insight about me that I can only share with them, and they can only share with me. That used to be a safe space. But now the vulnerability has spread to therapists. I'd rather talk to GPT. Let me talk to a robot. Get me an AI therapist. AI therapists have zero amygdala activation when I'm talking to them. See, and I believe because you're talking to another human, one that is in a low-stake relationship, they're going to tell you the truth and you're going to run from them anyway. Which is one of the reasons you run from your partner, because your partner knows you. They're going to tell you the truth. You can't hear from your partner. Now you go to the therapist. You can't hear the truth from. You run into AI because you think AI ain't going to tell you the truth. I'm here to tell you AI is dumber than your human therapist. Why? Because they can pick up on things that AI can't. The humanity of you. They can pick up on that. When we come forward, the voice of reason will continue this cookout.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Amber Payton with 4 Things You Should Know with BIN News. President Trump has signed an order to boost shower water pressure, reversing Obama-Biden era limits. He says it'll make America's showers great again. The move allows more water per nozzle, ending what the White House calls the Obama-Biden, quote, war on water pressure, end quote.